The weather here in the UK is starting to look a lot nicer, so we're going to take advantage of that and do a bit of a DIY paint job. Now from factory, the Focus ST grills come in this horrible grey colour, and then over time they just get worse and worse. And because I can't decide on any aftermarket ones that I like, I'm just going to take these off, sand them down, give them a nice spray job, and hopefully they'll look better. So the first thing to do is remove the reg plate. With that off, I then jacked up one side of the car so I could access under the front bumper. You don't need to do this, but it did make it a lot easier as I could push the grill out from behind. With the bottom clips unhooked, I used a long pick to pull the front bumper from the back. Then just slid my fingers across the top to pull out the top clips. The top clips are very brittle, but luckily mine didn't snap, they just got a bit bent out of shape. With the lower grille removed, the car can then come back down and we can go under the bonnet for the top grille. 2 trim clips either end of the grille need to come out. And then the 4 clips for the slant panel, and then that can be removed. So the next thing then obviously is to remove your bonnet catch cable there. Obviously the lock goes into the front. Just about to see it there, it's just clipped in. Bend those clips back just ever so slightly, pull the lock out, and then the grille should come off. The top grille has 2 tabs, one on each end, and these are quite tight, so it needed a good amount of force to get it free. So with both grills off then, we can start prepping them for paint, sanding them down. With the top grill, I am going to take off the Ford badge. It's just a bolt through the back, just obviously to make it easier and so we can get it all the same colour. I'm just going to use some pretty basic sandpaper, go up 200 grit at a time until it's nice and smooth, and then we can start painting. The badge is only held in by 1 screw, then it can be pushed out from the front. Now the very tedious job of sanding them down can begin. I started off with 220 grit sandpaper, making sure I scuff up the whole surface. Whoops, you weren't meant to see that. I even got creative when sanding down the face of the grille. I then went up to 440 grit sandpaper and did the same. I stopped for a spot of lunch before moving on to the top grille. Doing the same as the bottom one, starting off with 220 grit and then using 440 until it's all smooth. Okay, so with both of them sanded down then, just before we get spraying, I am going to grind the back of these down and poke them through just so they're hollow like the bottom ones. I think it'll look better, and again, a bit more increased flow to the radiator won't hurt. So just hit it with the grinder, pop them through, and then we can start spraying. Now this took the absolute mick to do. Even with the grinder it took ages to get the plastic thin enough to poke through, and even then I spent ages cleaning the edges up with a file and a knife. I do think it looks a lot better though, so to me it was worth it. I got the other side done off camera and then cleaned both grills with a brush and some isopropyl alcohol to prepare them for paint. And finally, once all the prep work is done, we can get to spraying them. I started off with 2 coats of plastic primer. This will help the paint adhere to the plastic. And on the second coat we even had Freddie come and do an inspection. After the primer had dried, I applied 2 coats of good old-fashioned Halford's Gloss Black. Then finally, to finish it off, I applied 2 coats of clear lacquer. Once they had dried for a few hours, it was time to reassemble the badge. Both grills can then be refitted to the car. The bonnet release can go back into the badge, and then using a bit of chiropractic treatment, the grill just clips back in. Don't forget the 2 clips on either end, and then the slam panel can also go back on. Then the bottom grille can go back on, and this just simply clicks back in. Finally, the reg plate can go back on, and that's job done. So there we have it then. The grills are now gloss black. Now I'll admit it's not the best job in the world. I'm not a painter, and in all honesty I did brush them, to be fair. I just wanted to get them done. I hate the prep work, the sanding down, it really annoys me, so I just did what I could. They are now black, and on camera they look pretty decent, but close up I even missed a few bits. So there we go. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and do yours a bit better, but it is a nice, easy, simple DIY job. I think it has made a difference to the front end. It looks a lot better. Again, wish I'd have done a better job, but there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.